Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we are in a little bit of a different scenario. We are not in the garage, we are not working on the truck, we are not working on the lathe, and we are sitting in the race car because we can go back to the track today. So it's a last minute thing. I just was working on the car. I changed the oil, power washed underneath the car. It was nasty. But anyways, if you'll remember back to the last video of the race car, had a little problem doing wheelies. I'm not taking any power out of it this time. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on the shocks and trying to keep the nose of the car down and things like that. So let's head to the track. Okay guys, so what you're about to see in the first pass is the car is completely 100% unchanged from the last time you saw it in the video at the flashlight race when I raced Mark Fields in the red 4i Fox. It had about a 3.5 second boost ramp up to about 32 pounds of boost, and it left on about 13.5 pounds of boost. So if you listen close throughout this video, on the in-car shots, you'll hear the engine, it clicks into high gear and the engine kind of flattens out, if you will. It doesn't pull through high gear. More on that problem coming up, but here, check out the first run right now. Okay, so as we suspected, there's no change in the car. Since we made no changes, it still does wheelies. It still has that weird surge in the boost. So on the second pass, this one coming up, we made some changes to the shocks and put a little bit of power in it on the launch. And as you're about to see, that didn't work out too good. And just FYI, it spins the tires. But that little blip of the throttle, or that little instant in time in which I let go of the trans brake, the motor saw 8,400 RPM that fast. So kind of gives you an idea, puts it into perspective. I let go of the trans brake at 4,000 RPMs. It goes to 8,400 in I think 0.3 of a second. So I think revs to the moon. Check that one out.
All right, jump brake for the Mustang. They gonna get it figured out. Yeah,
Okay, so now we are coming at you with the third out of 4 passes for the night. So what you're about to see is my TV turning on. What you're about to see is the boost on the launch was turned down just a little bit. We made some changes to the extension and the compression of the rear shocks. The front struts are now at full tight, and the limiters are also at full tight. And we really still are not making any headway. It's just not coming around the way we wanted it to, you know? So here's that pass coming up, and yeah, check it out. Not what we wanted. Okay, so now we got the fourth and the final pass for the night, and it's against a good friend of mine, Andy Reynolds, in the red wagon. And those of you that follow any of the grudge racing around DFW, you've undoubtedly seen this wagon. Pro-charged, carbureted, small block Chevy. The thing runs good. It's fast as hell. So there's some interesting notes on this run to pay attention to. One is that I didn't do anything right on this run, not one thing. So on the 1-2 shift, the car bangs the limiter, and you'll see the backfire. Right around just before that happens, the car is getting out a little bit to the left, and I have to pedal the gas, or I roll off the gas and then I roll back into the gas. And about that time, like I said, I shifted high gear. But if you, I don't think you can see it in the video. Maybe you can, but it shakes the tires just a little bit. And that's really not the problem. The problem comes at the end of the run. If you watch real close, try to pause it right when the car crosses over the lights, you'll hear and you'll see that it's not running. The car dies at, I would say, 600 feet. And you'll see the wagon go zooming by me. What happened was the relay that controls the ignition coils vibrated loose and didn't fall out until right when I went through the lights. And I'm purposely going to leave the part on the return road in here so you can see that I get out and I start looking around trying to find out what's going on with this thing. And then it dawned on me that I remembered the tire shake and the relays fell out of it. And the only reason I didn't know specifically and right away the relays didn't fall out is the car has carpet and stuff in it now, and you can't hear the relays hit the floor. So check that part out. Okay, guys, so you got to see 4 passes in the Corona-free track opening day again after the quarantine, if you will. The social distancing rules were probably not followed. Maybe it was in a gray area or something. I don't know. It didn't really matter to me. It doesn't really bother me one way or the other. Nonetheless, we got to go out and finally do some racing. So, having said all that, that's the end of the video. We are still fighting the wheelie problems. We still have a boost control problem. And but stay tuned for the next video because there's some interesting data coming up there. So having said that, we will see you guys in the next video. It will be coming out in the next day or so. And as usual, I certainly do appreciate it. You guys stopping by, checking it out. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you in the next one.